Hello everybody and welcome to the Kerbal Spaceplane Laboratory. This is something I've been wanting to come back to for a while, and I have finally got the ability and the, time, I guess, and the ingenuity to come up with a new thing to show you guys. And this is an ultimate challenge, an amazing challenge, something you guys will hopefully enjoy. I guess I don't really know, but as what you are seeing right now, if you're not having a seizure, is a space plane, I guess you could call it. It's not really a space plane. It wasn't designed to go into space. It is just an airplane, and this thing will voyage across Kerbal all the way around to the North Pole, to the South Pole, and back to the Kerbal Space Center. It is going to be one amazing journey that is going to take us quite a long time, and it did take me quite a long time to actually do this. And since I needed some time to talk at the beginning and kind of explain things, even though this is a really long video, I thought it would just be epic if I decided to make my space plane taxi down the runway on this absolutely ridiculous-looking, gigantic rocket thing. Now, I am using the newest patch, which explains, why all of my ships and stuff are actually gone. Just because I wanted to see what the asteroid redirect mission actually looked like. And I kind of like it, I haven't actually found any asteroids. Well, I mean, the asteroids in the tracking station, but I haven't actually went to one and captured one. I'll save that for another video. And right now I have 3 versions of Kerbal Space Program to actually go over and play. I have 0.22, 0.23, and 0.23.5, which is getting really confusing to keep track of all these different versions of the game, because, sometimes I think it's just beyond me, and I should probably start talking about the video now. As you saw, when we first came out of the spaceplane hangar, the one of the solar panels ripped off, which is actually really great. Also, one of our wheels has been punctured and is broken now, which will have an adverse effect on the takeoff of this thing, which you will see very shortly as soon as we reach the end of the runway. Now, this thing did take me a little bit to design. I threw it together, I knew what I wanted to build, I had a general idea for it, and I built it. I just basically went out and built it. I did a lot of testing before I made this video to make sure that the plane will turn okay. Whoa, look at that. Whoa, what is going on? Yeah, I could see. Oh, no, we broke another wheel in the front now. I bet before we take off, all of our wheels are going to be broken, so it's going to be great. Yeah, as you can see, we have a lot of air intakes, because we'll be using a lot of those air intakes to get air. And so we can fly very high into the air, and you guys will see as the video progresses about how high and how fast we can get this thing to go, but the specs are kind of insane and awesome on it, and it generally does what we need it to do, to go around the world. Of course, you guys will see everything that happens, and we start to take off, and we veer to the right immediately, and then we fly right off the runway, hit into a ledge, and the whole rocket thing just explodes, and we don't actually, need to use the detachment system like I thought we would. In previous versions of this, the actual takeoff, what do I call that, a vehicle, a launch vehicle? The takeoff launch vehicle actually worked, and I detached it in air, but I guess it's better if we just let the plane do all the work of taking off. I don't know. Whoa! What is that noise? Oh, that is, it's called my 4 times time acceleration. Of course, during this video, we will see the 4 times time acceleration along with 8 times, and we're on 2, because it's 4 times 2. If we go 3, it's 3 times 4, which is 16 or something like that. So you're watching this way faster than I actually played it, and that noise is actually quite annoying. If you ask me, it sounds like a dog whistle or something is trying to kill me. I keep looking over at my Audacity window to make sure I'm not screaming into the microphone, or you guys can still hear me. And it turns out I like to clip way over the maximum amount of whatever they call it, hertz, I guess, or something such as that. But yes, we are flying north at quite an incredible speed. We are going about 1.5 kilometers per second at 24 kilometers. That's a very fast speed, if you didn't know that for a plane. Yeah, especially for something that wasn't designed to go to space in the first place, it can perform quite well. And I actually, near the end of the video, I get it to work at about maximum fuel efficiency. So here we are passing over the mountains. They look quite incredible, if you ask me. the developers over at Squad did a very great job of texturing the planet. Of course, you can always get like the beautification mod, but I highly doubt that any of the mods are updated for 0.23.5 yet. Oh, and there we go. The North Pole is in view. The North Pole isn't, but the ice caps that form and make up the North Pole are in view. Of course, right now in real life, you're sitting in my chair. I'm kind of disappointed in the fact that I drank my ginger ale before I started recording. This took the last sip before I hit the record button, and that's a shame. Whoa, look at those beautiful re-entry effects. Of course, they're not really re-entry effects when you're flying through the atmosphere. They're more of just some shock heating effects. Oh, and back down to regular time accelerations. I can hear the engines actually not working correctly, and I begin to dive down because we're headed toward the North Pole. And at this point, I was kind of trying to recreate the to the North Pole in less than 15 minutes. Sorry, I keep messing up. But as you can see here, I'm trying. I really am trying. The re-entry is going at, and I start to pitch down, and I pitch down a bit too far, and I lose control of the spaceplane. Of course, at this point, I completely know that there is no way I could land this thing in 15 minutes. I cannot control it. Like, there's no intake air to run the engines. It needs to be about 0.10 or about like 0.8 and above to do that, at least to regain control with it. So yeah. Ooh, look at that flag on the thing. So yeah, I try to pitch it up, pitch it down. There you go, 0.13, 0.14. I get lower, and it's just, this thing is really weird. Like, it's really nice to control when you're in the lower atmosphere if you're on max throttle, but as you either increase in altitude or you start to use up some of your fuel, it just becomes a pain to control. It just flips out. Like, once you lose control of the plane, that is it. Like, it is out of control until you max up the throttle. So you gotta get pretty far back down in the atmosphere to do that. It always wants to point. It's really heavy. It's very heavy. It has tons of fuel on it. I think it has, let's see, 1,320 liquid fuel. This is based off of the earlier Z designs I made. I believe the Z3 was the one that actually made it to the North Pole in 15 minutes. Of course, this one wasn't based off of speed. This one was based off of distance. And you can see how it performs. We've used up actually what appears to be quite a bit of fuel. I may need to do some more management with that. The side engines, the two engines on the side, well, of course that's what side engines means. Okay, have been using up a bit more fuel than the middle engine, and that's because I forgot to put the fuel struts between the main engine and the secondary engines. And I'm going to have to manage that later on, though. This landing is looking like it's going to be very easy. I mean, considering that the North Pole is extremely flat. Actually, I think it's about as flat as you can get in the game, besides the runway at Kerbal Space Center, which is apparently so flat that you will begin to roll with the planet. It's quite an amazing thing. Whoa, the lights! The lights are blindingly... not loud. I was going to say they're blindingly loud. No, they're blindingly bright! Look at that. I can hardly even see where the ground is, so I decided to turn those off. And for a second there, you can see the red and green lights I put on there, but you don't really get to enjoy them that well. And look at those parachutes. Yep, they are just doing what they do as parachutes, I guess. Is that Minmus in the background? Yep, that's Minmus, that little dot, if you saw it, for just a few moments. Don't worry, guys, I'm watching this commentary with you. This is post-commentary. I like to do a lot of post-commentaries on, like, Kerbal Space Programming games because, you know, sitting here for, like, an hour and 5 minutes and actually saying this, like, as a game. Like, I had a few intermissions with this. Ooh. Yeah. So, here's Jeb. He's coming out to plant a flag and actually repack the parachutes because I wanted to use those again. And they may be very useful for landing, especially in emergency situations. A lot of the tests I had, I used the parachutes. Say, like, I break off a wing using the, what's it called? The Kerbal Whack-A-Kerbal system, and I just bust off a wing and try to fly it back to the runway. And I always just use the parachutes to slow me down to, like, an immediate, like, at least 20 meters per second. And it would work very well in those types of situations, especially if you just want to land very quick. It will do it, and the whole thing won't rip apart, like it did previously. Yeah, you guys shouldn't have seen all the weird and wacky Z designs I had for the 15-minute one. Like, everything would just break apart. I had to put struts all over this thing, put, like, secondary wings on it. Like, geez, I put enough wheels on this thing. But yeah, I kind of added some unnecessary stuff, like I don't know, the batteries were necessary, the giant satellite was kind of unnecessary. I really didn't need those extra gigantic solar panels, but you know, they kind of look cool to have on there. Of course, I did break off that one at the very, very beginning of the episode. Yeah. Overall, I think that the design of the plane went very well, and right now I cannot just understand why the green is massing this area, which makes no sense, considering we have the red and green light, and you only see the green one, and the green one is spread out in this weird fashion. Oh, you see that jump cut there? That was called my intermission period, where I had to go check on the NOAA weather radio because it was alerting me of a severe thunderstorm, and it was also doing other things, or I was doing other things such as getting a drink, like the actual time I got my ginger ale, and I finished it now, so I recorded this quite a few hours ago. And, well, not that it takes me forever to drink a ginger ale, I just don't like to drink it all at once. I just kind of like to take my time. Of course, I've been doing other stuff in that time, like actually editing this video, which took me about an age and a half, considering I had to do a lot of 4 times time acceleration, and just remember all the moments where I probably would have liked you guys. Oh my, I forgot to retract that ladder takeoff. That's something I forget to do a lot. Of course, it has no negative effect on the actual mission itself. It just likes to stay there and look kind of awesome, cause drag and other things which degrade from the flight. But here we go, taking off for the North Pole, and I am redirecting myself on a southwards course, because, you know, why not go to the South Pole? That's what we go to next, right? You go to the North Pole and you're like, I wonder what the South Pole's like, so why not? This is Kerbal, where it only takes you about 15 minutes to go to the North Pole. I kind of wish it takes me 15 minutes to go anywhere. I mean, going just to northern Wisconsin takes you like 4 hours. I couldn't imagine going to the North Pole would take you about a half a day or longer. I mean, geez, going across the world would take you about 36... Whoa! That noise is very annoying. I'm going to have to edit that in post, guys. You probably won't hear it as much. There's a horrible noise. I just want to put that out there. That's a really bad noise. I'm never going to put something in 4 times time acceleration again, because it just sounds awful. But yeah, I do begin my flight back to the South Pole, and it's looking actually really strange. I don't think I've ever seen this area of Kerbal before, because I only have ever flown north to the North Pole. I've never flown south to the South Pole, and it just looks kind of weird. It's very dark green. I tried to figure out what biome that is, or maybe it's just the position of the sun to the ground. I'll probably never figure this out, because I don't travel to such locations often, as they say. But I just thought it was interesting, and here I'm realizing that I'm flying over a giant ocean I didn't actually know existed. And we begin to experience some very interesting things with our plane. I push it to its limits, as we say. I'm getting about 1.5 kilometers a second here, at about 27 kilometers high. And I just want to see how good of a fuel efficiency I can get out of this plane. And it gets pretty extreme, actually. Right now we are increasing in our height, and we're also increasing in our speed as well, which is something I did not expect. And there we go again, just burning out control completely. This one was a bit more recoverable than the incident we had at the North Pole. Regaining control here, and it was just a long process of me trying to figure out where I could go with this plane, and having to pay attention to what it was doing. I have to say that re-entry effect on the plane just looks stunning. I mean, in real life, the plane would be, like, disintegrated at this point, and they'd all be dead, but in this game, it looks pretty cool. Deadly re-entry probably wouldn't have anything to say about this either. Here we go, trying to reorganize the ship. We're going about 1.5 kilometers a second again, running on a very low thrust, and that was the key point I had with this, is that on the way there, I used a lot of my fuel to get there, and I just wanted to make the whole thing more efficient. And here we go on our way to the South Pole, and the fuel situation isn't looking so hot from here, and that's why I really just needed to conserve some of the stuff. So I had to find good methods for making the flight the most efficient I possibly could. And I think it went pretty well, if you ask me. I've been getting better at designing space planes. It was something I was really bad at the beginning. Like, at the beginning, when I started playing the game, you should have seen some of my space planes. They were, like, not good at all. basically just things that would not even take off the runway. They just fly right off the runway. And I guess that's what happens with all new Kerbal Space Program players, is they acquire the game, and they think they have all these great ideas, and then when you actually put them together, they're like, that really wasn't all that impressive. Like, you build some sort of spacecraft with a solid rocket booster, and you go up into space, and you get into, I guess, what you consider to a highly eccentric orbit, and you call that a day. Oh, we're passing over the South Pole now, which is our second stop here, and it's Jeb is just, his mind just blown. He's thinking, oh my star, what have you done? You have built a plane that could go here. And right now I just waste a little bit of fuel trying to get my bearings. I don't know why I did that. Not that it actually mattered that much, but I was looking there at my screen and I was going, that's not a lot of fuel to make it, about a fourth hour back. Excuse my yawn here. Sorry if I'm making you guys yawn. It's a little bit after midnight, I think. Oh yeah, it's like 12:25. I was just staying up to record some stuff for you guys. Here we go, traveling like 96 meters per second. I didn't think traveling that slow without crashing was possible with this plane, but the main idea I went here was lots of lift. The more lift you have, I assumed the less thrust you would really need to keep yourself in the air. So that's what I went with, and I think it worked. I don't know. I put a lot of control surfaces for the one direction. I don't know, lateral. Lateral. I put a lot of lateral control surfaces over vertical. I actually had to remove some of the wings I added previously just so I could get that extra control in, and it actually benefited very well. I also opted for the use of this weird structural side wings instead of delta wings for the lateral control surfaces, which I think was a good decision on my part. And here I go trying to activate the parachutes again, where I quickly realized that I can't. I have no idea why I actually can't activate the parachutes again. I never do figure that out in the end. I try to use them again when I land the last time. Yes, I do land the last time. I don't think this is a very good suspense I was holding here. Of course, I didn't really think I could hold your suspense without me doing something. Yeah, you should really see what happens. I'm trying to make it sound like something more exciting happened than actually did. This is pretty boring, but a pretty amazing feat at the same time. You know, I've realized as I've been recording, I just like to ramble on about random things. Like, I'll start talking about something, and I'll go on from there and just continue talking and have no idea what I'm talking about. It is just, I go off of just, I don't know, what I see. I guess just visual stimulus, and I just begin to rant on. Yeah, I was about to bring something up about a clock, but I don't really want to talk about clocks in the middle of planting out our flag, Jebediah Kerman coming out, and I opted for the orange flag for this mission. I don't know, I just liked it. I don't know what flag I used for the last Kerbal Space Plane Laboratory series, so I just went with the yellow one. Hope this is kind of like an in-between world I'm using here. Maybe we can actually make an official Kerbal Space Program Plane Laboratory flag. I keep saying Kerbal Space Program Laboratory, and that's not right. It's Kerbal Space Plane Laboratory. I guess that's probably because it is 12 at night. It's about midnight. Second stop, South Pole. Yup. And he's right to be excited about that. He's reading the plaque there, because this is the first time I have ever done this. I don't know if anybody else has actually done this before. I guess people don't play Kerbal Space Program trying to accomplish certain feats. That's kind of what I play it for. I like to think, oh my, I flew to the North and the South Pole. How amazing is that? I don't really know if anybody else cares, but I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I was able to design something that could go far, you know? I feel like I accomplished something. I have no idea why I feel like I accomplished something, but I did. Ooh. Yeah, I would have done this the first time when we were at the North Pole, but I only realized that we might need to transfer a bit of the fuel about 15 minutes into the flight. Or not 15 minutes into the flight. Well, I'm actually doing impressive time. I think I made it to the North Pole and to the South Pole in, actually, it's about 20 minutes. That's actually very impressive considering, not 20 minutes. It took me 15 to get north. And so, it's 45 I'm taking off. So, maybe 30 minutes to get to the North Pole to the South Pole. Yeah, that doesn't sound right for some reason. No, because I would have spent some time at the North Pole. Yeah, so it's another few minutes. I'd have to go back in the footage to check. I'm not really going to check, but it did take me a considerable less amount of time. Oh, that horrible noise again. To get to the North Pole, to get to the South Pole. But I guess it's because I didn't have to stop halfway there, and I could just kept going. And here I begin to realize why I always have this weird problem where I always feel like, okay, I am trying to break thoughts apart here. Okay, so whenever I'm flying to, like, the North Pole or something, I always feel like I'm flying directly on the North Line or something like that. But as the flight continues, like, my plane's heading begins to edge off to, like, the left of that, and I could never understand why that happened. I always felt like I was just flying it incorrectly. But then I realized that since I'm flying north, it's just the Coriolis effect. I mean, I am flying what I think is north, but then the planet is spinning, and it's putting me at, like, a weird angle. I mean, I'm still, like, kind of heading north, but it's just bothering me. It's either that or I'm going insane. But I'm pretty sure it's from that. The whole planet spinning is just bothering me. That stupid spinning Kerbal. Yep, and I'm just making my calculations to actually get back to the Space Center, because I realized that the planet has spun so much from when I first took off that I actually would not end back up at the Space Center, so I'd have to take a serious turn to the east. Which I attempt to do here in a rather awkward fashion. This pre-correction does actually give me a lot of... Oh, there's Minmus. I pointed out again. I actually realized it's there, and I was like, oh, that's pretty adorable. It's Minmus. I decided to go looking for the moon there, and then I take some screenies, you know, why not? Just kind of be like, oh yeah, hey, got the moon and Minmus in the same shot, and I can actually notice them together. Here we go. We're back on the Space Center continent. I had to pronounce that right. And I'm trying to just figure out where on Earth the Space Center actually is. I'm just looking on my screen. I'm like, where is the Space Center at? I cannot figure out where the Space Center is. And I see the mountains, and I'm like, the Space Center is to the east of the mountains, I think. I think those are probably the right mountains. Well, I'm yawning again. I cannot refrain from yawning. And I'm like, that looks like it over there, maybe? Small little peninsula? And it really got to get close to it to realize what it is, and I'm looking, and I'm just trying to figure it out, and then I realize, oh, yeah, oh, there it is. There, I see it, and I kind of, like, go a little bit crazy when I see it, and I'm like, yeah! And we just get in really close. It is a perfect alignment, almost, with the runway, and I was amazed by that. In my previous tests I did with this plane, I basically would fly off at weird angles, blow off the wing, and then try to fly it back to the Space Center, which was pretty intense, but I did actually have my parachutes to use when I did that, and I don't have them now. And so it's been an amazing journey. I believe this is a sunset, or a sunrise over Kerbal. I believe it's sunset. It's absolutely beautiful. I've never seen the Kerbal Space Center like this before, at least not that I recall. It's amazing. You can see the island runway in the way background, in the second to the right island. No, now it's the first. I don't know. But yeah, you can see it, that little sparkle over there. You can see Minmus in the sky just above us. I'm just editing a little bit of the lights as we come in, just so I can maybe get a little bit better aesthetic effects from the red and green lights I took advantage of. That's actually probably one of the main reasons I got the asteroid redirect mission, was just so I could get those extra light colors. Yeah, developers, I'm really bad at that. I really like my lights. I like my customization, as they say. But yep, we got our front white light too, and that's about it. We can see the weird glitching runway there. So yeah, we're gonna land, and I'm just gonna kind of chill and congratulate myself on the successful mission. This is almost a perfect landing right here. The landing lights, just regular, and it is a really beautiful sight. When I pulled in here, I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever imagined, because I had been flying this thing for like an hour, and I was like, yeah, I could probably use a little bit of a rest now, so I went after this and watched some YouTube videos and got myself all better. I don't know how many of you guys are actually still watching this. My average view duration for my videos is only like 4 minutes, so you guys probably lost interest about like 20 minutes ago. So yeah, just leave a comment if you're actually still watching this to the end. I don't know. A lot of you guys, I guess, don't watch it to the end. It's kind of confusing. I do have a lot of videos with like over 10,000 views on it, and I guess only a couple people, or some people, only watch that for like a few minutes and kind of leave and go, I don't know, whatever people do for like their spare time, which things I don't understand. We're just going to pull in. We're just going to keep this to the side. I don't know if I'm going to come back to the asteroid redirect mission and show you guys. You also leave a comment in the description if you want to see me redirect some asteroids and just figure out how to do that. Probably watch some Scott Manley videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you like this episode, just remember to always deploy your solar panels, because it's kind of important if you want to keep a ship there and the people in it still alive. But thank you guys for watching. If you liked this episode, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Or otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.